And our committee worked 6 to 12 months setting these limits to something we all felt was agreeable to our vision for the community. So ultimately a vote will take a license, and if we do, because your application's up that limit and allow another one in at that time. So hopefully that's more clear.
I didn't catch all that. I have trouble hearing, but basically, are you saying you're not gonna, I was under the understanding that you could increase the number if you want.
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna vote tonight. We just
You are
want you to
now.
understand what the vote
Right.
is entailing. Yes.
And,
And I think if I'm not mistaken, and anyone can correct me, but your application's turned in and it stays on file for 1 year? Is that right?
Well, we're working on that. That's part of our ordinance.
Okay.
But yes.
But if the vote goes
And they
no
have
tonight,
their first in.
no one can come next week and they're gonna get a yes. You're still first in line.
When one gets turned in.
Rebecca, what's that timeline that we put in there? Was it 6 months till like his application fell off? Do you remember?
1 year.
1 year. Okay, thank you for that. So,
Didn't we already have somebody come and attempt to get one of these before?
It was a
In the
B1.
last-
No, that was a B1.
Was it
B1.
that was a B1.
He did not come back to try to get an A.
We never voted on it
It's
either.
representation.
And
He
we
did
did not
not.
vote.
We checked on that. He did not.
Well, another thing I want to mention too is, you look at the image of Fulton. Right now we have 7 locations with gaming machines, so that's about 42 machines in the city of Fulton. It's about 85 citizens of Fulton per one gaming machine. Well, do we want that? Do we want to keep adding to it? There is a C open. There's nothing saying you can't open a bar. Put in your simulators.
He's still talking, but he has trouble hearing him, so.
no, I didn't know if I had to get to add anything or not.
No, you don't need to add anything. It's okay.
Okay.
But I'd like to say, why wouldn't we welcome the extra income? All the video gaming funds is funneled to our parks, and we have a lot of projects that are coming up in the next 2 years between the fit court next year and the pickleball courts that we hope to get by them someday, and the splash pad coming up. I think we've been responsible with the funds that have come in to put them back into the community. That's fully how we funded Friendship Park up there on 10th Avenue.
I think it's a balance. I think we have to look at the image that we want to portray in our town and be viable to our businesses as well. And it's not like, and that's why we made the non-limitation if you're looking to do like a food and sell alcohol and those type of things, because we're welcoming those family-oriented restaurants in that serve alcohol and things like that.
And then I also want to really have you guys think about if you were a small business in this town and you didn't have the income coming in to make it through those hard months. January, February, March, it's tough. I already have another business owner that wants to get machines. He said, I'm having a hard time keeping the lights on. I don't want to do it, but I don't know how I can keep my lights on. So I don't know why we would make it hard for people that are trying to invest here. I don't want to be known as a community that people don't want to bring businesses to because we're hard to work with.
I don't know
It's
if you
not being
understand
hard
the
to
full
work.
clientele that gaming dens bring to our town as well. And I personally live in Second Ward, and there's 2 liquor stores now at the end of our road with gaming dens and things available. And so that brings different people to our area too that we may not be desiring. So we have to be aware of those type of things too. It's not always about the revenue. There's got to be a balance.
And I understand that, but we also are in a situation too, downtown, we have Olivia's restaurant that's open, and I guarantee you, the person who comes in there is gonna want a gaming den or probably machines. It's a huge space. It would make sense for them to have an area in the back somewhere where it was private in a way and it could still be a family-friendly restaurant. I mean, look at Manny's. They have their machines off to the side. It's a nice, clean family restaurant establishment. I just would hate to lose a future business that wants to invest, especially like looking at, you know, that space that Olivia's just left. We need more in our downtown. We've lost 4 businesses in the past 4 months. And by saying no tonight, then that locks us down for a year that we're saying no to anybody.
And Olivia had a seat, and they closed. So I don't, you know.
They never utilized the seat though. They never started serving.
Alcohol?
I thought they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I thought they did.
Well, the simulators that we went and researched this weekend and stuff, we would like to actually go in to talk to the schools and see if we can bring the high school students in to practice on them, because they're pretty amazing. They're very expensive, but they're the toppest time kiting you can get. They're not top off, they're TrackMan.
No, they're not track.
They're not TrackMan, they're above. The ball comes back down to you and it comes up on the tee without, you
Really?
just stand there and watch it. It's pretty amazing.
We just spent a lot of time last year on this committee, though. There were 4 of us on the committee, plus the mayor, and we met a couple of times a month for months going over this. It's just a difficult decision because
And where the
everybody
games would
comes
be,
in.
would not even be in that area. They're in their own separate space from the simulators from the.
Renee, what license does Manny's have?
Manny says
Hey.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
And
we wrestled with this for months and finally committee came to a decision, and then the council did. So to change it.
Well, but what we decided on was we wanted open communication between the businesses that want these and us, knowing that we would be voting to increase them. Because what was happening before, when one was available, it would just go out the door and then we'd be like, what was that new business? That was what I think sparked us to do it. That's how I felt we were doing it this way, as more of a courtesy to the council to not be like blindsided when a new business, because what it was, let's say you had 6. So-and-so closed, so it went down to 5, but one became available. So-and-so moved into town, they slipped up that 5, and all of a sudden there was a random business open with an A license, and like we had no idea about it. So the way it is now, it's a set amount, a business goes away, it drops down to the 5. But we never said, I would have never agreed to it if we were gonna be Stonewall and say, hey, no, let's not ever add more.
It says limited to 6 licenses on the ordinance.
I don't agree with Jackie's perception. Mine was that we were limiting it to 6.
And to say that, you know, it's bringing revenue in for the parks and everything, we added over 40% to our gaming list with Cheers Corner and Eagle River. Did we see a 40% increase in the funds from those machines, or were we just trading dollars? I can almost guarantee we're trading dollars. We did not see a 40% increase on our gaming funds coming in.
Well, the people who already have them say that no more people are coming to Fulton to use them. It's just
You're trading people out at
They're going
different.
to a new place. There's something new and novel, and they're going to come there. So the loss is from somebody else. So.
I'm more concerned about the business owners, and I'm all about let the people
There's nothing
operate.
saying they can't get a seat.
And I went to Eagle River since their gaming is open and nobody's playing it.
Cheers Corner are usually Fridays. It's payday. You drive by there.
So is it like the worst thing that they're there if they're not being used?
That's what
Nobody
I mean. That's how I see
There's
it.
up, and
And the state will come in and pull machines.
I think the other thing is I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt Terry, but those places can operate until 1:45. Now Cheers Corner is operating until I don't know what time, but they're open much later than they were when they were just dispersing alcohol. Now that they got the gaming machines in, so I don't know if you want that traffic or not. It's kind of right there by the highway, so I'm kind of open to it. But at the same time, you know, do we want? I guess the thing that frustrates me is by granting the license, you just open up to the video gaming automatically, and there's nothing that there's no delineation between those two
No, the
things.
state didn't do the municipalities any favor. They
No.
should, if they were gonna grant the license, they should be responsible for it. But that's not how it works. So that puts us in an awkward position, and that's why we spend so much time studying it. I agree with Jackie, we want to welcome businesses, we don't want to discourage that, but that responsibility lies with the AWs. Decisions.
There is no way for us to implement some sort of delineation, is there? I mean, is that completely controlled by the state? We're issuing a liquor license where, there's a 12-month delay before they can apply for video gaming.
No, in fact,
Well, you could always probably
We'd have to
change your
no, I think in
license.
fact the state will issue them a license before, is that correct? They can get their gaming license before they even have the operation open, or they have to have the bar open?
They have to have a liquor
They have to have
license.
a liquor license.
But yes, I understand that, but then the gaming license will be issued to them immediately.
Yes, as soon as they get their liquor
Even
license.
if they don't complete their business plan like they've told
They
us.
take it to the state, and then the state, I issue it after I receive their state certificate. So they take that liquor license down to the state, apply for the video gaming, they bring the certificate to me, and then I grant their video gaming license.
Because you've got
Business plan, maybe.
another, you got a business in town here that was supposed to have a bar. That coincided with those gaming machines, and that bar's not there
It's
yet.
still not there yet. No, so they haven't followed the business plan.
And they don't have food yet either.
So then does that license get pulled and
It should.
We don't
Give it to
have any
somebody
recourse,
else.
so it's not in the ordinance that we can pull it.
Yeah, we can revoke it.
We can
I
revoke
think the
it.
mayor or the liquor commissioner
Yeah.
can revoke it, and
If they're
so
not
if they
doing
still
that,
haven't followed what they said they weren't.
They are, what are they not following?
They don't have a bar open yet.
But
And
they
they still
have,
don't have food either.
they have, because I've talked to the video gaming commissioner, he's been there, and they are fine what they are doing right now. And we did, in the new ordinance, we did put bar or lounge for an A, which they are working on. That was not in effect when Cheers Corner had that license. It was not in effect yet, and I did go and I checked, and she has the electricians now putting electricity into the bar. It's almost done. Gerlach is up and running with this, so we're getting there. But that's why Vicky, I've been talking to the video commissioner about it, video gaming commissioner about it, and they are fine as far as they're concerned. And we did add bar lounge in our A with the new ordinance. She was already up and running, and I think we have to be really careful about how we're, saying bar or lounge. That I don't want to say micromanaging, that's not a good word, but you know what I mean? We have to be careful about what specifics we're putting on these businesses.
I think
we're
we
all
need
in
more
agreement.
specific.
Yeah, I think.
So we're all in agreement.
So that's why we want that
Yeah.
written business plan, because if you
Sure.
don't follow that business plan,
Absolutely.
we gotta have some sort of recourse that comes
Yeah,
back on it and
absolutely.
say,
Yep.
We end up with a situation like downtown too.
And that's what I think is, I don't have a vote, maybe, but my ask to you is in the business plan, gaming's listed last, so that would be nice to see, like, it coincide with that order. I think the council would be more comfortable in knowing, like, hey, we got our bar open. Oh, we got the pool tables in. Hey, we got the dartboards on the wall. We're serving food and liquor, and the games are coming next week. Golf simulators are up, and the games are on their way next week. Like, that would be my ask, is just when you present your plan, and then we possibly grant it, that you also follow, the plan.
But tonight, we're not voting about whether they get a license or not, we're voting about whether we're gonna add one or not.
That's.
Correct.
So we need to move on to that.
We just have to make this.
The guy that wants to give us or sell us these simulators is hoping we would get stuff together by January,
I
February.
wanna
That's how fast we're moving on stuff.
Is your business plan projection not profitable without putting the gaming in?
I don't mind it. I'm gonna have to spend another 200,000 probably to get this thing operational. I don't
Can you
want
make
none of
yours-
that unless it's gonna happen. So, and that's
So
all.
what you're saying, you need
I'm
the
hands
gaming
now.
to make it work
Well,
financially.
we would like to have that mainly for retirement, so we could walk away from it a little bit and still have that income as also, along with having a bar manager and that, it's just something we can hand down to our kids someday.
Because it's a great business plan. I mean, I like everything you want to do, but.
And a C will do everything on that list except the gaming machines.
But they
But
have
we
to
had
be
talked
60%.
also about bringing in, letting the food trucks come in, and let them be a part of it, because they got it at the banks and over at Drives, something like that is an option for people to come out. Yeah, have more options of food possibly, without having a kitchen.
The problem with the C is your sales are supposed to be 60/40,
60/40.
and that's not a primary thing that they're trying to do is food. So yeah.
Right.
We want
So I
more with the
don't-
golf
is there
simulators and
another-
the pool tables, that kind of stuff.
A1,
No, because your A1 is just off premise only.
What about B2?
We don't have a B2 anymore.
there's just the B and B1.
Oh, it's still in the ordinance listing online.
That's in progress.
Yeah.
But we don't have it.
We tried to narrow these down because it really A and A1 and B and got confusing to it. We tried to, well, we did simplify it some.
All right, anyone else? So we're gonna vote here to raise the A to 7. Roll call, please, Tori.
Alderperson Berggraf.
No.
King. Mask.
No,
Ratcliffe.
No.
Sewell. Van Campen.
No.
Wilkins.
Yes,
Boonstra.
No.
All right. Next is motion to approve and vote on application number 2 of payment of McCarthy Improvement Company.
I make that motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
any discussion?
Anything to add on this, Eric? Just standard?
So this is what they've done to date, and this is, I'm guessing we should see another pay application come at the end of this month as well, so, but they're moving right along.
And we're happy about that progress.
It'll look a lot different at the end of this week, assuming everything goes as planned.
What's our estimated completion date?
October 1st.
on blocks 1 and 2, that does not include 3.
Right. Anyone else? Roll call, please, Tori.
Alderperson King. Mask.
Yes,
Ratcliffe.
Yes.
Sewell. Van Campen. Yes. Wilkins.
Yes,
Boonstra.
Yes.
Berggraf.
Yes.
All right, next item is motion to approve and vote to replace sidewalk mist on the downtown plan. Eric, or motion, please.
Motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Discussion?
well, my first concern is consistency. If we've done it on one side, and we didn't do it on the other side, and if we're doing it on Jackie's side, then we're doing it on the side all the way down. I mean, the Lucre building, all the other. I just want everybody to be consistent. If we already did it on the west side from the 1000 block, I just think we need to be consistent. Then we should be doing it on the other side. I don't know. Eric,
I
do you
can
have an
give you, I can give you some context. So the west side has been done. That was done with the sidewalk work done 2 weeks ago. I didn't realize that was not part of the original plan until Country Orchids reached out to me on Thursday and asked why it wasn't a part of it. So then I pulled out my plan set and then realized, I wonder why that wasn't a part. And I said, have yet to get an answer from our engineers as to why that was not a part of it. But moving forward, I do have an estimate here from McCarthy to replace that. Total for both would be $8,160. They're estimating 2 days total, one for each block, and then 4 and finish back. So that's kind of their timeline, and that would be done as soon as substantial completion is done, which would be October 1st. That following week, they would start on these, since this was added on along with that third block down by like BPI and Wits End.
So we're gonna do then all of the the east side of the 1000 block.
If it's part of the plan, yeah.
Okay. Because
So
the
talk
Luger
to me
building-
about that. So when
The
that gets,
entrance into Rebecca's office is now the Luger's responsibility to fix that, because it's their property. Just like Jackie's and Lori's, that's their property, that's not the sidewalk. It's like in front of my house. If they fix my sidewalk, there's a slab of cement there, but if I want that changed, I have to pay for that. And so that's the same.
what was that
Why
given
do we
to
do
them as
that on
an
the west
option?
side though?
I don't know, that's,
So I
think
can
that's
give
why it's
you,
rural
the
Bethel.
west side was done because they changed the elevations of the sidewalk. The elevations of the sidewalk changed, so they had to redo all the entrances to those buildings because they raised that sidewalk up as part of the project. So the hard part with the downtown, the way it is, there's so many different elevations with each separate building. Some are higher than others, so and you can really see it now that the curb's in. You'll notice that curb and the sidewalk kind of do this to make up for all the different adjustments in height for doorways. Now, obviously, you can't make every single one of those perfect. Like there's some, the doorways, they used to have a 6-inch step, well now they have a 4-inch step because they had to raise that sidewalk up to catch their neighboring property. And then as you come down this way, you'll notice that they dive down because now they're trying to catch the lower buildings. And then Don Julio's is a whole nother different scenario, and the ice cream shop, and it just depends on where you're at as to the elevation as it's coming up. And like I said, you can really see it now that the curb and the sidewalk are in. You can see the sidewalks go up and down throughout the downtown.
So what businesses going down south get a new free concrete instep under the plan, and which ones do not?
Don Julio's gets everything redone.
Well, then I think they should have it up here.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I think
agree that
when the
if they do
planning
it
was
on one
happening, I
side-
guess that's where I'm unclear. Like when the planning's happening and the engineers or whoever's designing this decide that these aren't gonna be replaced because they're not city property, I think at that time it'd been a great time to offer to the businesses, while we have this torn up, we can replace
And it could have
this.
just been an oversight on their position as well. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm still waiting for an answer from them because I still haven't gotten anything yet.
And Eric, like
And
you said,
I questioned our engineers this morning when I went over there and talked to them about, hey, what have you found out with this? Why were these not included? Why were some in, some out? Because some of them, they get ground down and they get a 2-inch cap put over it because it's all stonework, so it's a lot harder to recreate that. So I'm still waiting on answers. I don't have any yet at this point in time, but I mean, the whole west side was redone. The east side, a lot of those are getting a concrete cap placed on them. But those are minor things that they're not as worried about right now. They're worried about the businesses that are shut down. They're trying to get them open back up, and then they'll come back, do the smaller stuff at the end, because that's not as big of a priority as getting the main sidewalk back in. So you may not see some of the smaller ones that have been done. They may not be done yet, but they will be done at the end of the project.
I think when the engineers did this, they've done so many of them, they should have known that would have been changed.
You know what, the guys on the ground working have questioned, why isn't this included? And asked. And
So
we're
that's
told not to do it.
No, because
They said that Eric said not to do it.
Well, but
No, I'm
they
gonna
wouldn't be
stop
able
right
to
there.
do
I
it.
did not tell them anything. I didn't know anything
Contract.
about it.
He flat out said, he said, we asked if we should do this because we're right here.
I
And
found
we were
out
told,
about
no, follow the plan. So
I
we didn't
found out
do it.
about it on Thursday after the sidewalk had been poured back in. So how could I tell them not to do it when I didn't know about it until Thursday?
I don't
Well, I'm
know, he
not
told me
blaming
to
Eric, but
talk to
I'm blaming that engineer. I mean, this is his job, this is his career, this is what he knows. He should have known that all goes.
So I said, I don't have an answer for you because I'm waiting on it.
Right.
Well, I guess my question is, what are we gonna run into on the next block? Like, is there something there that's gonna need to be dealt with that we need to address now?
Well, and
Well, we
I don't
use
know.
the
if you
ice
guys-
cream shop as the example, because they have that little inlet that you go into to get into the ice cream shop and the
And
barber
I have to
shop.
go back and look at the
And
plan
like,
to see
that
if
just
that's.
looks
But
like
they
private
did that on the
property.
website, right up to the Masonic
Yes.
Lodge and everything. All of those are done, and then you come over here, where Rebecca goes into her office, they didn't take that up to her door, they stopped right at the sidewalk.
It should all be
And
done.
then you look across the street, and they all went up right at, and quite a ways into the Masonic Lodge building, that's quite a distance. And they did all of those on that side, but not on this
And
one.
the engineer is not the guy that's down here working.
Sure.
You know? So it's like you're talking to the guy that's doing the work and he's the middleman. And
That's
he's
why I
like,
said the engineer should have known that this, many jobs as he does. And I'm not blaming you, Eric, or anything.
No, I'm not
That
saying you.
engineer
But another
should have known.
$8,000, and then we've got other ones that have to be done yet, that's,
If you're
that
talking
looks like
about
an
my
engineer
step
error to
bar,
me.
you're talking about my step that they came up level almost to the top, there's like a little bit of a lip.
Oh, your step up into your
It's kind of a
building.
trip hazard now where the step meets the sidewalk. Before I had a step.
yeah.
You don't have a step right now, I just went down there
No,
and
it's
looked.
level with the step. It's
Kind
level
of.
with the step. But there's a little bit of a lip above it where my step, the original step is. It's not huge, but there is a little bit of a trip hazard there.
But I think the point is, at least for me, when I walked down the street and I looked at it, everybody's, including the Masonic Lodge, that it went right up to the door in every business across the street. And on this one, they didn't.
Yeah.
So it looks to me like there was an engineering design flaw right from the beginning.
So they gave us a quote to do it, but didn't explain why they didn't deal with it.
Conveniently, both of them are out of the office, and one was back in today, but they're waiting on the other one to get back in because he was the one who actually designed it, and I have yet to hear anything as of this
And
afternoon.
that quote is only Lori and I. That won't include fixing Rebecca's. I know Chelsea at Homemade Hippie is not happy with hers. Like,
Like I said, some of them still have to be done yet, because I know Chelsea's gets a new cap. I know, I think it's where Country is going to be, gets a new ground down, they put a cap on it. So there's things that they haven't done yet, but they are going to do as part of the plan, they just haven't gotten there yet.
Oh,
Would it make sense to have a meeting with them and figure out what these all are and come back to us with a total?
yeah.
Do we have time for that?
And I can,
I think it's,
I wouldn't say we have time for it, I mean, that's gonna put them right up to substantial completion and potentially put them outside of that substantial completion.
Well, we could vote on it next meeting, though, if they could put a price together.
I mean, we can set a meeting up, but
I think an engineer on spot looking what we're talking about.
well, and then examine the next block so we don't run
could be
into
done.
these
Yeah,
situations
I don't
on
wanna
the
come
next
back
block.
here 3 times saying we need to fix these.
Soon until.
And walk through with him on each entrance, what's done and what's not done. Are we okay with that, or are we not okay with that?
Like
Let's
going
add it or
down,
not.
like-
Because we're gonna have to vote on it again if they have to do it on the next block.
Right.
the next block, I don't know, with the exception of the ice cream shop,
Oh, that ice cream shop.
that would be, that's the only one I can think of that may have it off the top of my head.
Are you talking that we're gonna like have to either step up or step
Well,
down?
that's what I don't know yet.
Well, they
Yeah.
actually do the ramp, I mean, it's like in
Yeah,
front of the
didn't they
liquor
just-
building today, I mean.
No,
But
with your shop, I'm concerned, like, in her shop,
The
like,
entryway.
when you go out either of your door, that little square
Yeah,
may not be getting done. So
We want it.
it'll just go right by you, and then that little square
It's gonna be
is,
old.
is,
Yes.
right. That's that's what she's saying.
And
On your side of the road up here, it's all
And it
done.
does,
On this side,
it does
it's not
stand
done.
out. I mean, yeah, the stores are beautifully decorated, it's well taken care of, and then you got this bad spot. No.
Well, I think in defense of the engineers, I'm just guessing, but it's that they were trying to make everything ADA compliant, and there's not a step up here.
Right, that's why it was left out.
And that's why it was left out, I think.
But cracked concrete should be not ADA.
But, yeah.
Well, if it would have been recognized in the beginning by the engineer, then I think, like we said, it could have been a discussion with the business owners and say, you know, we
But
do
let's be
this.
consistent.
It just looks bad. I mean, you got beautiful new sidewalk butted up to some new concrete, some old concrete.
Yep.
Now, do I want us to spend $8,000 to fix something that could have been done for $800? No, I don't.
Or what about if we didn't have them do it and had our own staff do it?
I would have them do it because he's gonna have to chisel it out and protect what they just poured.
Yeah.
That's why the cost is so much, because of how he's gonna have to extract the current concrete. They know what they're doing.
The engineer should have known better. I just. So I figured it's his screw up, so he should have to make it right.
Could you gather some more information for us and come back?
I'm gonna request a meeting on site to look at some of these issues and why they weren't addressed in the plans.
Could they just grind those sections down and cap those with 2 inches instead of tearing them all the way out?
I mean, that's up to the council on how they wanna approach these.
Where it'll match that way, but then they're not having to tear it all the way out.
Yeah, and it's not like there's gonna be, high traffic on it. It's just people. It's not like
I mean,
you got cars driving on it or anything.
One option I had thought of was the epoxy coating, because then you don't have to grind it down 2-3 inches.
Right.
I know it would be cheaper than the $8,000, but it'd be a nice new transitional way into each business, but,
Right, but that's non-slip.
it would be gray, and then they put the flakes to match the building, and then it's a silica sand that goes in it, so it's slip resistant, and then you get a nice new look in front of each building, and still saves the city money in the end.
They did have a mistake across the street, you were telling me.
That was on the engineering company. They staked it wrong. So they
I
had-
came out of Crumpets the other day and they had the sidewalk, even with the steps that you come out of there. And I,
Oh, yes.
Isn't this nice? Now I see what they're trying to do here. And then I came back today and it's all gone.
Yeah, I got a front row seat to all this, and I'm just watching them, and they're like, we could not figure out how to get them on the corner for it to, they're like, it should never be this high, so then they had to rip that out, and then on top of the people that live above there, they kept walking out into the wet concrete. I'm like,
Oh, boy.
3 times he had to redo it.
So I need to bring up something. And I know the design was approved before I came on the council. What's the end of the blocks called where the sidewalk juts out into the current road? What's that? There's a name for it and the design. You know what I'm talking about?
Bump out.
The bump out? Is that?
We're not doing bump outs.
No?
No.
But there's an ease. I mean, is that
There's-
what all you're
They're
getting
doing
at?
returns.
Yeah.
So they're coming back into the existing concrete that's there, and then it'll be an ADA ramp, but
Okay.
we're not doing bump outs.
Okay.
That was talked about at an early meeting.
Okay. So the way that 10th Avenue over here meets 4th, that was my concern. The way that the concrete has been removed to this point, but if they're just refilling it, then
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Well, we're bound to have some issues on a project that size. We'll look forward to hearing what you can learn from them.
Are we tabling this then, or?
I think Terry suggested that we get more information from Eric before we make a decision.
Well, and another thing to keep in mind too, then we're having to shut our front doors for another 2 to 3 days, which is not ideal either.
So if you did the
Either way.
epoxy coating, you'd probably do that. Are you closed Sundays or are you open Sundays?
We're open Sundays, but we're closed Mondays, so a Monday would be fine.
You
And
come
I
in
mean,
Sunday night, do it, and then
fine, but it's.
There's a
yeah.
guy locally here in town I'm gonna reach out to that does it. I've seen his work, he does really good work. I'm gonna talk to him just to get an estimate, and who knows, maybe it's even more than what I think it'll be. If it is, then, we'll we'll still look at the route that we're going down, but I'll at least get a quote from them just to see, but
We want to be consistent on everything
Yeah.
that's on it. But I don't know if you heard Rebecca, Eric, her step, you know, where they level
I heard
it.
that,
Yeah, they got a little lip like that. and I
It
think
depends on where, because my step is not.
because that's stone, right?
It sinks, I don't know what it is under the carpet.
Oh,
So just out of curiosity, from a quality control standpoint, how do things get approved? Like when they're done with a certain area, does someone come by and say, yep, that looks good, I'll sign off on it, or?
well, that's up to their individual that's out here, because they're paying somebody to be out here to oversee the work that's being done. So like Greg has come and told me like, hey, this doesn't meet our standards, we're gonna take this back out. I'm like, okay, fair enough. So Greg's been good about it. You know, Dan Will Hoffman's inspector, he's the one that's supposed to be there on our behalf to make sure things are being done, you know, to Will Hoffman's satisfaction.
Sure.
Because essentially they're doing this project for us. And I mean, I know just enough to be dangerous with all this, but, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of everything. So that's why we pay Will Hoffman to be out there and hopefully see these things. Sometimes things get missed, but, you know, something like this, if there's more out there, then we need to figure it out ahead of time, so.
Especially when we're talking a 3-block
We
radius.
need to have a
just
woman
look
look
at it.
over them. Jackie, sit down there.
Oh, what happened? Bring her like this.
You need backup, huh?
Actually, there is a woman that drives a skid loader out there, so I feel a little bit better about it.
Okay.
So you need a motion to table then?
Yeah, I think so. Until we get more information, just don't have them, I mean, I'll say like, we don't want to repeat situation. So I think if they're gonna fly by the ice cream shop while we're talking about it, they need to do the interior of it, because I'm sure we all want to see everything fixed.
I'll stop over first thing tomorrow morning and see what that looks like.
Okay.
And this isn't gonna go to like 12 grand because we didn't approve it tonight.
Say that again?
Like this bid's not gonna go to 12 grand because we didn't approve it tonight.
No, it goes off of what they are currently bid already.
It'll go up if we add more,
Well, yeah.
because that is literally just for Lori and I's.
Correct.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Where are we at in the contingency part of the budget for that? You made reference to like, you know, we put in 10% for contingency in our contracts.
I mean, we're very early yet in the grand scheme of things, but with some of that, you know, some of it, there's like special earth excavation that we haven't touched, which was roughly $30,000. There's rock excavation, which we've used very little of. So, I mean, there's different things in there, and then there's also handholds that were traffic rated that we've since moved into the grassy boulevards. That way they weren't out in the middle of the road. Which that saves us money as well. So we're trying to eliminate some things as we see them to try and save the city a little bit of money. But it's just on a case-by-case basis. We're still pretty early to know where we're gonna save money at this point in time.
Okay.
So technically, we're tabling.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Tori, to table item 10.
Alderperson Mask,
Yes.
Ratcliffe,
Yes.
Sewell, Van Campen,
Yes.
Wilkin.
I'm not voting. I don't think I can vote on this.
Abstain.
Abstained, okay.
Boonstra,
Yes.
Bergrat,
Yes.
King.
All right, next is committee of discussion here. On Media came and gave us a presentation. Did you all get the slides the second time I sent that?
Yes.
Okay. We just had her print the prices here. I'm kind of leaning towards just holding off until we get the tourism person in place and see what they can do. I mean, this young lady's not going anywhere, but if anyone else has any ideas, or she also said, hey, if these are too expensive, you can give me a dollar amount, and then I can come back with another plan or agenda.
I like your first
open it
comment
up.
about let's get the new person here and take a look at what that salary is gonna be, and
And I think that person can tell us what she can already do on her
That's
end,
right.
and
Some
then
of
what we
these
might
things
need, and
that
she
we
can really
looked up.
study those needs, whereas we may not even know what they are.
he, she.
Thank you.
So that's kind of where I was on it, but I don't know. I just want, wanted to see where everyone else was.
I was impressed with the lady's presentation. I thought she did a really good job with that. I was impressed with her. What she has to offer us. So.
Okay, so we'll just keep her in our back pocket there for a while.
Yep. And we have some applications, it sounds like.
Yeah, we're up to 7, I think.
Nice. Good pool here.
All right, next is the dredger purchase for the marina, and Eric can give us an update on that.
So I reached out to Tyler Jensen. This was actually the same dredger he asked the city to go in and purchase with the city of Clinton here 5-6 years ago, whenever that was. So this was, I know Zach had questioned whether or not that dredger could do everything we would need it to. And I'm just going off of what Tyler has said. This is the exact machine he was looking at. I did ask if the city of Clinton would be interested in going in on the purchase of it. He was going to ask. I've yet to hear anything back at this point, but he was going to go up the channels and see if this would be something they'd be interested in as well. So that's about the only updates I have for you at this time. I mean, I think we're going to discuss it at our finance meeting. I know Marina meeting is, oh no, we have to reschedule that. I got to get with you on that, but we're going to be talking about it at the Marina meeting, hopefully this week. So hopefully some more information to come soon.
I just want to make some additional comments on that. If anybody watched the video, and I don't know who has or has not, I think very much my concern is that, to me, and I know nothing about dredging, but the machine seems very much capable of dredging on a maintenance basis. I'm not sure it's the machine needed to clear out the waterway to the depths that we want for potential larger boats in the marina, potentially the north entryway into the marina. So if you haven't watched the video of it in operation, I'd really encourage you to do that, because it kind of gives you an idea of how it operates.
Well, I'm glad you made that point, because I don't think I would have comprehended.
So I guess my concern is, at some point, this could be, in my opinion, a machine that's definitely worthy of the investment from a maintenance perspective. But then I would question, to make that machine effective on an annual basis, or multiple times per year, whatever it needs to be used by whoever, do we first need to spend that big amount of money by bringing in more industrial size dredging for the initial clear out of the sludge, the vegetation, etc.? Because what I saw in the video, my impression was it really struggled on some of the vegetation and some of the examples they had on their website. So I was hoping, before we made that decision, if we have somebody here from the company, come and look at our actual marina, if that's their appropriate machine, and or potentially getting some references from any other river cities or maybe lake cities that have purchased this, and be able to contact them directly. So that's where I'm at.
That's a good idea.
Is that possible, Eric, that they would come on site and look at our situation?
I mean, they're just the manufacturer of it. I mean, I doubt they come.
The quote that Shane got for hydraulic dredging, isn't that the same machine that they were using as well? So that $250,000 dredger that was going to come in and do that?
It's the same machine.
Same machine.
Oh, geez. Then I would strongly encourage everybody to take a look at the video, because maybe I'm totally underestimating the power of this thing, but it's basically ramming an auto tiller into sludge and shooting it out a 6-inch pipe. And boy, I would be really surprised if it could clear out
And
what
then
we
you
needed
do
to clear out
something-
initially. But on a maintenance basis, I can definitely see it being that. Again, my knowledge of dredging is very small, but that was just my impression from the videos.
And then you do something with the sludge, right?
Yeah, you pump it out onto the island or wherever, whatever we own.
We're not gonna do that, because that's not our property, so. we
Oh,
wanna put that up.
Pump it back towards the
So,
Does Tyler Jensen do it over there
I
for
was just gonna
Cliff
say,
Marina?
who's their resource that could?
That's who I talked to, is Tyler, so I'm just waiting to hear back from him on if Clinton, because this is what he proposed to the city, whenever it was, 5-6 years ago.
Did Clinton buy it?
No,
No, they didn't buy it.
So who's doing
Okay.
their dredging currently?
they contract out just like most everybody else.
Because I'd just be curious if Tyler knows what they're using. I mean, obviously, we have a little bit different situation across.
Yeah, they're pretty much in the same boat we are. That's why he had approached the city of Fulton about possibly going in on the potential purchase of this, whenever that was. But at that time, the city didn't want to purchase it.
Was the old Agricole bought by someone?
Yes, it was, and I've heard a lot of different rumors. I don't know that one's more true than the next. But there's been talk that they're gonna dredge. I haven't seen anything. I've heard about it for the last 4 years and they haven't done anything.
Who'd you ask about, Sue?
Agricole, that's down by the marina. See, they used to keep that all dredged out all the time because their barges had to come in and load up. And I was just wondering if we could work out a deal with them, if whoever purchased it,
Yep.
because they would have to dredge it out. Because the barges come in and they always kept that open, Agricole, and that was
But
open.
they don't come through anymore, is that why they?
No, they closed
quit.
down.
Well, they're open but not open, but they can't use the barge load out like they used to.
Yeah.
They're not using
And they have to rebuild it all, which, again, I've heard that they're gonna rebuild, but I haven't seen any progress with it, so.
I had heard that too, and I was just wondering.
Yeah, if anything will ever happen, I'm not sure.
More to come? All right, next is discussion for new Christmas lights downtown, page 12 and 13 of your packet. Eric, someone brought this to you, right?
I had asked Logan to do a little more research, getting different lights or different options for you. These are all the different snowflake lights that you can get. I thought I put in a couple of Christmas trees, but I must have forgot. But I guess I just need to know what the council is looking for as far as Christmas decorations, so I can get an accurate price to bring to you. I got a price, and it was roughly $14,000 with shipping, and it was actually the first snowflake on page 12 that I had quoted. So, I mean, if that's something everybody likes, I can get the quote from that. And if you would like Christmas trees included in there, I can get a couple pictures of those as well. But I just need a little more direction from the council as to what you're really looking to see.
How many does that get us?
What do you mean?
How many snowflakes?
14,000. How many?
So it's 14,000. So I had to split, snowflake Christmas tree each side. So that'd be 16 poles. So 8 and 8.
Okay.
Did we ever talk about whether we would prefer the lights going across the street instead of just on the light poles?
So the only thing about that is your light poles have to be directly across from each other, and ours are offset.
Okay.
So that'll be a lot of extra lights.
Where's this money come from?
We would just have to determine that at that time, either video gaming or we could use our economic development fund. There's a couple different funding sources, but
Okay.
Are you sure that these will work on our new light poles?
yeah, yep.
What about the pole mount, the silver snowflake that's 4 and 5 foot versus just 4 foot?
Yeah, so there's an option for 4 or 5 foot. So it just depends on which one you want to see.
That's what I said.
And now so it's hard to tell, but these light poles are going to be 26 foot tall to the very top. So I mean, they are very tall light
You can
poles.
hold the 5 foot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, it's more just what everybody would like to see, and then I can get some better numbers for us.
Is the silver, is that more of the like cool blue light? No.
I believe so, yes. That's what from looking at the picture, that's what I can tell.
Yeah, frozen.
How high up,
I'd rather do the, I'd rather
how high
do
up
the
these
warm light.
poles are we talking about putting them for if they were purchased?
2650, you said.
Well, that's the top, so these would be
The white snowflake.
roughly, let's see, 14. So we would be roughly 18 foot to the center of them.
Okay.
So not all the way to the top, but it'd be close.
So I don't live downtown. I don't own any buildings downtown, but I would wonder if my, having a snowflake light beaming into my apartment, all over winter would be annoying to me because I didn't realize we were putting light poles in the middle of the block under this plan until I just walked down there. So it's something to think about.
Go to the more warm white instead of the.
Something that's not glaring through
I think the warm is better anyway. I'd go with the gold snowflake. The second
shades.
one.
What do we have now?
We have,
Oh.
Never mind.
Yeah, like a lot of people.
Never mind, I don't need the answer.
yeah,
Thank you.
they're 18, I'll just put it
Thank
that way.
you.
Yeah, a mixture of three
You
dimensions.
can't, I don't even think you can buy the light bulbs for them.
They're paid
You
for.
can't, but you pay a pretty penny for them.
Yeah,
Ask Jimmy Pill.
they're no good.
Well, and if we did just do snowflakes all the way down, then they could stay up through February rather than if you had the tree, it would seem like they should be taken down right after.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are happy with just having snowflakes, I mean, that makes it a lot easier,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so.
Yep.
But which gold one?
This second one here, do you guys like that one? The gold?
Yeah.
It's basically just like the first one, but it's more of the warm light rather than the LED bright lights.
You could do like the two center ones, just get a little bit of a mix out there. Instead of doing the Christmas trees, just do the two different snowflakes. You have some sort of.
Mix them.
I think that one's quite a bit smaller.
So yeah, that's a 4x5, this one. These are only 3x4.
No, that's they have 3 and 4.
either or.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It's confusing. That's what
I
I
thought
thought
it was
initially
like
too.
this.
no, they have either
Snowflake.
4 or 5 or 3 or 4 foot, so.
So were you thinking like a 4 foot would be appropriate?
That's essentially what we have currently. Like for the reeds that we have, those are 4 footers. And I think those are a pretty good size.
I think they're a little taller because when I told them it's about as tall as me.
We have 8. Well, we will have 8 new light poles on each side. Is that what you said?
No, we'll have
16.
12.
On each side?
No, 12 total. And
Oh,
then
6
we'll
actually.
still, and then we'll still have the 4 up here in the block that hasn't been done yet. But we can still put Christmas decorations on those as well. They just won't be the new poles.
So should we just leave them out?
I mean, I would say order them now, just so that way we have them. Whether or not we put them up, I mean,
Are you
that's,
talking like in front of the post office?
yeah. I mean, that's up to you guys. I mean, we don't have to make that decision now.
When are the lights getting placed?
It's a good question.
I was gonna say, maybe we just wait to put the order till the lights are up.
Well, I'd rather order early and then we have them than to try and wait and then it becomes a 12-week wait because everybody's trying to order them all at the same time. So
Horse ran into that.
yeah, it's actually a lot more common than what you realize. So that's why we're trying to get the order in before the fall rush hits.
And I'd love to have them because our downtown will be kind of revamped this.
Yeah, I'm hoping that last time I talked to Tri-City, they had not gotten a delivery date yet on our light poles, but I'm hoping it's sooner than later, unfortunately.
What's our pole? It's got 2 lights on, so.
So one will go over top of the road, and then there's one down further that goes over top
So
of the
the
side.
snowflake has to fit between both of them, correct?
The snowflake would overhang the roadside. But yeah, it would be centered between the bottom one, which is about 14 foot.
That
and
goes over the sidewalk, right? Okay, and that goes over the road, so.
The one that goes over the road is 26 foot.
Right. So, that might even be a bright light.
I don't think these lights I don't think will be as bright as what you realize, because the light is directed straight down compared to if you think of the lights that we had, they kind of broadcasted out more. These ones are, I don't know if has anybody drove by the park at night?
Yeah, it's very bright up there.
So those lights are directed straight down. It's bright, but it's not like broadcasting over the neighborhood.
Neighbors, how do you feel about it?
My
Well, I
sidewalk
was
has
just
light on
wondering
it,
if
I like it actually.
So
If
Get home at night,
if they're bright, if the snowflakes are gonna show up.
I see what
They
you're saying, like
should, yeah.
conflicting against the lights that are right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know that for a fact. I could ask Lanark. These are the same style lights that Lanark has.
I don't know,
I
I'm
could
just
reach out
asking.
and see if they've had that issue or.
Or if you have it spun the other way, so it's actually like sitting above the sidewalk light and not underneath the light shining down, you know?
You can do
I
that.
assume these are like blue LED lights that are in our new street lights, right?
They're LED. I don't know what the color is. You can change the color on them.
I thought
Just a flip of a switch. So
we ordered those poles like last year.
no, we ordered them. Tri-City ordered them once they got the contract. So that would have been beginning of
I thought
June.
we were storing them down
Well, that's the ultimate goal is we'll store whatever we need to down at Public Works once we receive them, but we have yet to receive them yet.
Well, you know, if the lights go out on the snowflakes, we still got the big light going over them, so.
So tell Eric to price out 16, 12, what are we doing?
16, I think.
Yeah.
16 we could all.
Because we went out
We're
matching.
both consistent, yeah.
16 of the, I'm sorry, which one did you point out, Jackie?
I like this one. But
Does everybody,
4 foot.
4 foot pole mount gold snowflake. The Chelsea.
Snowflakes, we can leave them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Christmas trees, you go, take down snowflakes.
And that we're just
And
gonna.
really, the deluxe Lulu is very similar, so you can price compare the two and just pick whichever one's cheaper.
Which one? Oh, okay. I see.
This one, that's really similar.
I'm guessing the price will be fairly similar. I'll find out, but I'm guessing those will be close to the same. At least from what I can tell on the website.
Okay.
All right. Next we have the hours of operation for the dispensary on page 14. They're requesting new hours.
So Jeff had reached out to me last week, wondering if they could change their hours of sale. I think they can start selling at 10 now. They're looking to start at either 8 or 9 o'clock, depending on the day. And then on the weekends, they'd like to stay open to 10 instead of 9. So not a huge time change, but we would have to amend our ordinance to allow them to operate during those new hours.
Is there anything that specifies the hours they started with, or that was just us who set those?
I think we just,
Right now, the ordinance you have right now is 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
I think that come out with.
Monday through Saturday.
Act law, they have.
It's
they-
Monday through Saturday, but also on Sunday because they pay the
Pay extra,
$3,000 fee on Sunday.
So why do they need our approval?
I think our ordinance states that they
They're
can't.
asking to open up earlier.
So their hours on their website say 9 a.m. currently.
I want to say they open at like 9. There's always cars there by 9.
Yeah.
That he told me they don't open till 10. So
Their website says 9, and I know that because I looked at it after I saw the packet. But his proposed is as early as 8 a.m. on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which I don't know, for reference, since I'm talking to Jeff about the tours and stuff, he told me it was from a comparison perspective for the East Dubuque dispensaries. There's 2 new ones that opened up there. And their hours are 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday. Excuse me, that was for Dixon. That was another competitor that he was comparing against. But there's the 2 new ones in East Dubuque. One was 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. And then New Era was essentially they operate currently under what they're proposing their hours to be. Galena, Barrel Life is 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. And the Quad Cities have a variety of hours of operation, some from 6:30 a.m. to 9:45 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and various hours of operation in between.
Is it because business is getting busier, or?
I think just trying to expand their hours just to be open to be able to serve more people, from what I gathered.
I thought maybe people were standing in line for a long
I
time.
mean, that could be, I'm not sure.
Jeff related to me that his owner wants to be uniform to what the competitors are going to.
Sure,
So, you know,
makes sense.
which one are you going to go to if you're wanting your weed at 7 a.m., I guess?
From the cops' perspective, any,
I mean, but we don't really try to mess with those guys too much, but I think the hours they have now are working just fine. I don't think an extra hour is gonna hurt.
I know when I talked to Chad about it, he didn't seem overly concerned about anything.
We've just been very fortunate with that business, about pretty much incident-free all the time. The state has, regulated business, and
does the state have guidelines?
Not as far as I can tell, no. It's just up to local ordinance.
Yeah, I mean, like, where was it? I'm sorry. NTI is 6:30 a.m., so some of those places are starting pretty early.
Hitting the third shifters,
What's that?
hitting the shift guys.
Yeah, right.
or maybe they're going to work.
I hope not.
Yeah, me too.
So would we like Rebecca to draft the ordinance for the next meeting?
I don't think it's
Do we make it better than the competitors, you know?
So are we just going to expand it to the 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. and let them set their hours within that time frame? Like for the ordinance perspective, our ordinance already says 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Do we just change it to 8 a.m.?
Or do we make it to 7, and then if they wanted to open up earlier, you can operate from 7 to 10 p.m., and if they decide to change the hours, we don't have to amend the ordinance.
Fine with that too?
I'm fine with that too. Sound good to you, Rebecca?
It's not my decision.
Fine.
So do we make a motion?
So that's a discussion.
Rebecca will draft an ordinance for us to look at and make sure we're good, and then we'll vote on it.
All right, next is splash pad concept on page 15.
So I just wanted everybody to kind of be up to date with what we're doing with the potential splash pad. The committee that's kind of been looking at some of the different options and diving into this, we met on Friday, and everybody was kind of under the same impression that we liked the current concept that's out there right now. Obviously, things can change as things come and go, being discontinued and whatnot. But everybody seemed to like the idea of it. There will be, the potential for some bathrooms and some shade areas included in on this. It's not in on the plan, but we're going to do that outside of the OSLED grant because if you use OSLED money for that, it really dictates what you can and can't do with it and how much of that grant can go towards a restroom or changing area. So just want everybody to be aware of what we're looking at, what our concept is. Tara will be here at our next meeting. We have to have a public hearing for the OSLED grant before our regular council meeting, so anybody from the general public can come. They can provide their input, look at the concepts that we have. There will be an updated one with some shade structures included in on it at the public hearing at our next meeting. But this is the overall design. The only thing we'll change would be a couple shade structures here and there. What it doesn't show is there is the plan for a concrete seating wall along one side, undetermined on how everything will face yet, but there will be a seating wall along the one side. Kind of twofold on that. one, give parents a place to sit, two, provide some kind of protection for the splash pad itself from a car parking and, you know, heaven forbid something happened, that would at least protect the splash pad from a car trying to drive through it.
How many feet across is this, Eric?
50.
50 for the whole area, or just the lighter colored area, which I assume is
Total area.
total area?
That's, I mean, how much?
Say that again?
What was your question?
50, it was how wide the total area was, because this looks circular, so it's 50 feet in diameter.
Yep.
Where is this going again?
10th Avenue Park, be on the east side of the basketball courts.
So a question, and I don't know the spacing, is there room to put that in to the east of the basketball court, plus put in additional parking spots like we have discussed in the past? Okay.
We talked about cutting in and having to go perpendicular,
Yeah, absolutely, that's what I want.
pretty much from 10th Avenue south until the grade gets.
Sure, yeah.
We can't go all the way because it does drop
It
off.
stops essentially at the sidewalk. You know, a good visual point for where it goes.
But I think 7 to 10 spots is what was kind of been thrown out there.
Something like that, yeah. I don't remember the exact number, but it's probably very close.
Now, does this
Why
equipment stay?
can't this go down into the Drives Park? Explain that to me, why can't?
The thought process behind it was the 10th Avenue Park is more visited than what the Drives Park is. If you go by the Friendship Park now, on any given day, there's I wouldn't say hundreds of kids, lots of kids there, but there's lots of kids playing there, basketball, they're there. A lot of moms get together, have play dates there with their kids, so we thought, you know, we kind of already invested all this money into Friendship Park to make it what it is. You know, it only makes sense to keep it up there where all the traffic's going to be anyways. Because Drives Park was discussed. We didn't have, there's a lot more cons to it than there was pros. And a main one was visibility. The visibility with Friendship Park is there's a lot more traffic that goes by compared to down at Drives. So that's more of a safety concern for us. You know, we didn't want to put it somewhere where it's not going to be as viewed by the general public, by the police department.
And accessible for children.
So
just to get
we
to.
wanted it to be somewhere where, you know, everybody could have access to it, ease of access to it. It was going to be visible for everybody to see, you know, the general public driving by. The downfall with Drives, say you have baseball games going on at the same time, a mom wants to go down there with her kid, you know, the parking is not great. So this seemed to be the best location we could come up with for pros and cons, and this was ultimately what was decided. Because there was actually a couple different areas talked about, but we all kept kind of coming back to the same spot.
We also have drain off that we can build into, which I know if you've ever read the Clinton Herald about the Comanche fiasco, to me that's an instant selling point that we don't have to do much
that was
on that
another
front.
one with Drives is we didn't have anywhere for any of the water to go. We would have to just put it on the ground, which that creates more issues there. At least with 10th Avenue, we can either run our water to 10th Avenue or to 11th Avenue to the storm sewer, and then it flows down to the river. So that was the big selling points, but it was definitely looked at among other sites as well.
So this is going to go on the east side. Have you looked at putting it on the west side of the park?
It was talked about,
You
but
have to
there
build it up. But
well, that was the issue. We couldn't quite figure out. In, you know, when you're talking money in the grand scheme of things, money wise, this is where it made the most sense. It was looked at the west side, more towards the bottom of the hill, but now you're looking at adding retaining wall. There's a lot more moving pieces. And then we still have to get somewhere for the cabinet that runs all the different spray features. So that's where it was decided it's best that, you know, if we added it over here, we could add another restroom over here with some kind of changing area. Along with that, the shade structure that we've been talking about, and it still gives, you know, a mom or dad, whoever's there with their child, a place to sit. They can see their son or daughter running around. But if they want to be out there, they can sit on the wall. They can, still view everything. But there's multiple locations talked about, and this one just seemed to fit the best within the park.
It's already flat, and if you do walk out there, there is a lot of room. So to have that with the bathhouse and that, it won't feel scrunched or like
Because parking, because parking is part of the OSLED. They want to make sure there's enough parking spots that you can, because a certain part of that grant has to go towards parking spots. So that was looked at, and there was talk of the hillside there which would be directly across from your house, adding diagonal parking similar to down by the church. But then we also ran into, well, we're going to need retaining wall here as well. So where are we going to get our most bang for our buck? And this, we actually met on site with Vortex, the company that we're talking to about the different spray features. They came out, viewed the site along with MSA and Jake from MSA. He looked at everything, and we kind of all gave the head nod that we kind of like this area because it's being underutilized right now. So we thought this would best utilize that area and give us a little more play area up there.
The biggest thing is, the basketball court gets used, the play equipment by the young kids, but those middle school age kids, the high school freshmen, they're in that side lot every day. That's where they play football. You put this there, that's gone. So, which, does this equipment stay there
It's more
year
than
round?
just playground equipment. It's more than just play. I mean, there's other things that happen in the park other than that, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's always downsides to adding something new. But we were trying to look at it from, what are we for what we want to see, how are we gonna get the most for our money? And this was the best that we could come up with.
No
Is it a
thought at all
downfall?
for Pleasure Park? No thought at all? No.
Well, that's another one. Now you're gonna eliminate, something else down, you put it down at Pleasure Park, and then if we were to put it down there, now you're limiting some of the baseball field for the potential for flipping everything, and now you're adding another object that you have to try and plan around. So, I mean, there's, like I said, there was lots of spots thrown around, but this one, like I said, we kept circling back to just because of what we need is there, and that made the most sense.
You have a singular line of sight too as a parent up where you're proposing it to be, as opposed to on the side of the hill, which I think we kind of talked about 5 years ago, because it's kind of an underutilized space other than sledding in the winter.
But it's nice to have a green space in a town.
Oh, there's a great
And there will still be green space. It won't eat up that whole area, and there is green space on the other side of the courts and in between the pavilion and equipment and.
Yeah, surprisingly, there'll be a lot. It'll be mainly hill, but there's a lot of green space there. But yeah, I mean, as far as kids being up there to play football and whatnot, I mean, it's unfortunate, but there's also,
Can you put it south of the pavilion that's there now with all the picnic tables? Because there's your seating area. Put your concrete wall, all your plumbing's right there already.
Yeah, but you're coming right off that
bathroom. But
you're coming right off that hillside, and then you'd have to take a tree down, and that you don't think that hillside drops off that quick until you're there. It drops off pretty quick. So, like I said, and we had actually talked about putting it in between the pavilion that we just built in the new playground equipment and that green area, smaller footprint, but it's like, well, as you look at it, it's going to look cramped in there. And that's what we didn't want everything to look cramped. Like I said, this is where we came up with. Obviously, there's, we're open to more suggestions, but this is kind of what engineers looked at and Vortex looked at, and we all looked at, and we all kind of said the same thing. We all like where this is going to be at, and Friendship Park seems to be the best place for it.
Thank you. Next for new business, any Alderman comments?
Just a really quick comment for those people that said that they wanted to visit Solcana. The Cultivation Center, talked to Jeff yesterday, gave him the list of the people that were interested. He is going to give those names to the person that operates on site. Going to be limited to people at a time, probably. And Jeff stated that he would like to set that up to right before the harvest, basically. So we see that part of the operation. And the harvest happens, he said, it was either going to be 2 or 3 weeks from this Wednesday, and it would be probably that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, of whatever week that was. I'll have more information to share with those people that were interested in touring the facility.
Any time of the day?
He has not set that yet. So 2 to 3 weeks out is where we're at.
Interesting how many people comment about the smell, and some people can't smell it at all, and other people find it just overwhelming. And somebody asked me the other day if they inhale it, if they go down there and sit and inhale it, will it have some kind of an effect on them? I don't think so. If you're looking to get high, I don't think it's going down and smoke. They said, well, with cigarette smoke, it's not good for you. But I said, I didn't think that just going down there and sniff it was going to make a difference.
I know Kenny, who has a shop just directly south of where they're at, he's never complained about it. He's like, every once in a while I smell it, but he's like,
some do, and some people don't smell it at all.
He didn't seem bothered by it. So. I do have a quick, just downtown update for everybody.
That's the next item.
It's just moving
is it on the
along.
agenda? No.
I had a quick alderperson comment. So Frontier, I saw in your weekly brief that that they're going around, and we've seen them by our house.
Yep.
So is there any specifications to how they add things onto these poles and things, like the one that was by our driveway? I mean, they literally wrap this.
I don't think they're fully done yet, because there's a lot of those around town. I think they did that just to get it operational, and then they're coming, because I've noticed they've been coming back around town and moving a lot of those back up to where they need to be.
Okay.
So that would.
Because I was like, wow.
Yeah, because I noticed one the other day, and I thought,
That's
not how they're going to leave it, because somebody could just.
What are you talking
So
about?
Frontier's coming in to put in some more fiber
Frontier.
optic type things, but when they get to the utility pole, they're.
Yeah, some places they're underground, other places are overhead, so it just depends. It's Frontier.
Yeah.
It's Frontier. Mediacom hasn't indicated any upgrades as of yet, but.
So they would be filling out those applications for people doing work in town that we've talked about, whatever, okay. Great, that's all I have, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? I just had someone asked me about quiet hours, so I found out today it's 10 p.m. So just put that out there on the record.
You start Jeremy's Nova at 9:59.
Next is department heads. Eric has update for downtown.
So if you haven't seen, they started on the next block. They started to tear out today. They started forming up. I think he said they were hoping to start pouring on Wednesday. Depending on how they progress, if they progress well enough, they'll probably start pouring sooner. But the goal is that west side between 12th and 11th is going to be completely done. And then they're going to jump back and they're going to fill in the edges where you see there's like 2-3 foot where they haven't put concrete yet. That all gets filled in with concrete. And then they're going to try and tie up any miscellaneous curb that they have on this current block over here. Then once the west side is done, he's going to jump across. He's going to do in front of like Lashed Out, Kathy Sewell's building. He's going to get that, and then he's going to do the section between Don Julio's and Peterson Plumbing. He's going to do that all in 1 week because Don Julio's will be essentially shut down for a week straight because there's only the front entrance to the building. They have a side entrance, but it comes right into their kitchen, which they can't allow people to come in and out of. So Greg said, during the day they'll be closed, but at night they're going to build them a ramp so that way they can still try and get traffic in and out for, some kind of income coming in. So Greg's been great down there. I've heard nothing but good things from business owners. Been talking to everybody, but that's the last update I had, and that was as of this morning, I think it was when I talked to him. So.
And again, you said October 1st is the
October 1st is substantial completion for blocks 1 and 2. Since we added an additional block, we had to give them more time to get that completed.
Does anybody know what the plan is for the homecoming parade this year?
Yep, so they'll still line up here on Fifth Street like they normally do, but instead of turning and coming down Fourth Street, they're actually gonna go straight down towards the windmill. And then they'll
Come back
offload
around.
on 11th, yep.
Do you hear any updates about the bridge?
Last update I got was, the Illinois side is, quote unquote done. They're working on the Iowa side right now. They're still shooting for that early to mid-November to open back up. But they are also in the same boat we are. They are waiting on light poles.
My sister and brother-in-law just told me that they heard they wasn't gonna be done till January because they had some busted roof or something.
There was some posts put out there on Facebook that weren't exactly truthful. There was somebody was putting it out there that it was going to be March. I spoke with I spoke with the state of Iowa. He's the one that told me mid-November. So
I didn't know, they had asked me, I said, no, it's supposed to be November, and they go, no, it's gonna be January or February.
no, so I had seen somebody put that out there on Facebook, but that was not true. So
It'll be a happy day.
All right, last we have the Public Works Committee meeting minutes, page 16 and 17. Zach, you want to give us some highlights?
Sure. It's a little bit outdated now, but went over the downtown infrastructure. I think the big thing that relates to everything that we've learned from phase one is, the things that we need to improve on for phase two, right? And the big thing that's not on here, but I'll be adding as a supplement to the finance committee meeting notes, which I also have to submit, is a form that Eric gave me that has the broad outline of costs of phase two. And I think the main thing there is those numbers were based on a previous plan. And there's a lot of things within those numbers that we're going to be able to either take back, not do, or we can do, depending on if we are granted all or part of the, what grant is that?
that's a local roads grant.
Local roads grant, which we applied for back in June, I believe.
Is that separate? Is that a different one? Is that the big one?
No, that's
That's the big one.
Oh, okay.
Related to that is the Illinois EPA loan. That's approximately $3 million. Eric went over this with us in the Public Works meeting. The big thing on the EPA loan, it pays for a lot of the things that we need to have done on the water sewer side. We get 30% of that forgiven. So it's $2.1 million. The key thing there is it's at 1.62%. Do I have that written down here? I don't have it in, I apologize, I don't have that in the notes, but it's 1.62%, which is obviously an extraordinarily low rate over 30 years. And it corresponds with the loan that evaporates or comes off the books for actually building the new water tower. So it's not that big, it's really not that big of an increase overall in our budget. The real question becomes, how do we pay for phase two if we don't get that grant? Because some of the things that are funded by the Illinois EPA loan, one of them being the water main downtown, basically motivates us to take on some aspect of that cost. And then we'll have to come up with how we pay for it. Splash pad was talked to, the Riverfront Fitness Park was talked to, tabled the dog park proposal, and we very briefly discussed, public works operations for the future year or future years, and I just threw a suggestion related to the bus route coming off of Fulton Elementary. And that's it, unless anybody has any questions for me.
Anyone? All right, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting. May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're adjourned, thank you.
That's nice. I feel like we had closed meetings forever. Oh, yeah, I guess we should ask her that.
She's somebody who's always.
City owns the flat, it's the full divided, so they have someone else. It's really, we tried for an hour. He informed us today to try to find
Alright, well, I'll ask Tara to
I can hold on the
see
contract side, for sure.
receipts from DNR, things we
A review, it's always about
Yeah, on our side.
finding the
Yep, we'll figure out what our next one is.
is on a river or a lake that has this already. There's a need
Timeline.
because